For me, flying on an airplane is the worst part of a trip, and the flight that I was on yesterday did not disappoint. It started off with our connection. We literally had to run from one gate to the next. So I was running in the Chicago O'Hare Airport. As I was running, I was saying beep, beep for people to move out of my way so I could keep running. And it worked. It really did work. That's a good tip. If you have to get somewhere and you're running in a crowd of people, just start letting out a bunch of beeps. Beep, beep. And people get out of your way. It really works. My husband and I ran from one gate to the next and just made it before they shut down the boarding. We get to our seats, and it's the last row right before the toilets, and I have chemical allergies, so I have to carry a rescue kit with me with an EpiPen, nasal sprays, a rescue inhaler, and allergy pills. I'm sitting there and I'm talking to the lady next to me. She's a mom with a disabled child who is barely alive. She's a terminally ill child. So this mom has a handful. But we're talking, and she's a really nice lady. And I say, hey, do you smell grapefruit? And she goes, yeah, I smell grapefruit. It's really potent. And after a while, it starts to get me. So I get out my rescue kit, take the inhaler, take the sprays, the pills, and do all the things. And then I'm starting coughing, like asthma's coming up. I'm starting to freak out because I know the longer that I sit by this, I'm potentially going to have a worse reaction. So I'm just hoping, that doesn't happen. And so I asked the steward if he can find me another aisle seat, because I'm in an aisle, right? Everybody likes the aisle seat. I'm in an aisle, and I figured he could, just find somebody to trade with me so I can get out of this potentially health crisis here. And he has attitude. He just pipes up with, tell me right now if I need to open up the door and get you off this airplane. And I was like, dude, I just ran over here to get on the plane. I don't want to get off the plane. Hello? I'm trying to get home. So a few minutes later, he comes back and he goes, I could put you up a few rows ahead. You could be in there by the window on this side, or you could be in the middle of these two people on the other side. But let me know right now. And I'm like, well, that's 3 rows up isn't going to do me any good. I'm still going to be able to smell it. Plus now, you're going to give me claustrophobia, sticking me in between two strangers in the middle, or shoving me up against the window. Okay? So I told him, hopefully the medicine will work. I'll deal with this after we get up in the air and the fasten seatbelt light goes off. Right? So I'm just going to try to not lose my shit. Anyway, the flight starts out great. We're going really good. So after a while, we hit turbulence. And I mean, it's rattling. It's not the turbulence where, if you've ever been in bad turbulence, where the plane gets knocked down and you fly out of the seat even though you're seat belted. It wasn't that. This was just a rattling, like shaking from side to side, like a big earthquake, like say a 9.0 earthquake or something. You're rattled, but the overhead bins weren't flying open, so that was good. But anyway, it just kept rattling and rattling forever. So they turned off the sign, stay seated and seatbelt. And I'm just sitting there. Whenever the turbulence starts, that's when I focus. I just focus on, okay, I need to pray, so I just start praying, and then I started singing, and then I'm like, what do I sing? And the first thing that popped into my mind was, it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. That's the only thing I can think of to sing. But it was true. It was appropriate. It's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. So I just kept singing that over and over. First, I was just singing it in my mind, but then it came out. But it was so noisy in the plane with all that rattling going on, and plus the air circulating. I doubt anyone heard me. Plus, I had my mask on, so I didn't have to breathe that grapefruit. So I'm just, it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. Hallelujah. And I'm just singing that on repeat. This must have went on for a good half an hour. I mean, that's how constant this turbulence was. And then it died down for a few minutes, and they turned off the light, and the beverage service resumed, and it was good there for a while. But it would start up again, then the whole get back in your seats, buckle up, and everything. But as it went on and on, it got worse and worse. And there were people still getting up and going to the restroom, and they're flying all around the walkway because they can't keep balance because it's turbulence. Hello. And the stewardess gets on the line and says, everybody back to your seat. We're experiencing severe turbulence. So that got me. Now she's saying severe turbulence. Like we didn't already know that, but why did she have to voice it out and say severe? Why couldn't she just say turbulence? And I tell you, by this point, I had already thought I was having a heart attack. So between the praying and the singing, I had to throw in there some deep breathing exercises. So I'm inhaling to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm thinking in my mind, is it 7? Do I inhale 7 and exhale 7? Or do I inhale 3 and exhale 7? Well, anyway, I just decided 7 and 7. Let's just keep this simple. And it was a little bit hard to inhale to 7. Let me try that right now. Yeah, see, when you go to 7, you get your lungs pretty full. And I was like, boy, 7. But that adrenaline was pumping, see, because I was scared. My knees had that slight shake to them, and my shoulders. But I'm like, I don't want to go there. Okay, I'm like, I don't want to go there because if I lose my shit, there's nobody to help me because the steward and stewardesses are in their jumpsuits. They ain't going to get out there to save my ass. I said, I have to keep myself under control, not have a panic attack, and not have a heart attack or stroke while all this stuff is going on. So I did that. Breathe into 7. Breathe in and then exhale to 7. And it felt like, well, I mean, I did it and I kept doing it probably because of the adrenaline. Like I said, it just pushed me to the 7 and then exhale to the 7. In between that, I'm praying and then I'm singing. And this went on. We had a 3-hour and 45-minute flight, and I bet you 2 hours of it was severe turbulence. And if that ain't it, the pilot gets on there and says, everybody remain seated and buckle your seatbelt extra tight. What the fuck? Why did he say extra tight for? They never say that. It's just buckle your seatbelt. It's no extra tight. between him and the stewardess, I just knew we were going to crash. And I was just like, okay, if we crash, it's going to be immediate. We're going to just all bust out of the airplane and freeze in the air, and that'll be it. We won't even know. So then I was like, well, I'm just going to try to roll with the turbulence as it's shaking. I'm not going to try to fight it or anything like that. I'm just going to kind of roll with the turbulence. That's what I did. And the poor lady with the baby next to me, I just knew that baby was going to die. I'm like, this baby is getting shook up. The poor little baby had a feeding tube. She had seizures, all kind of stuff. And the poor baby, I'm like, I just hope that this flight doesn't do her in. And I could see that the mom was checking her neck for a pulse. But thankfully, the baby made it. I made it. And we all made it. And this is why I don't want to fly for any more. I don't want to go on any more vacations that require me to have to fly.